In the headlines, important training to boost oversight of the OECS grant on HIV and TB elimination. Major players in agriculture phasing out poor packaging to boost poor harvest handling, and the Venezuelan Miracle Eye Care mission expected in Dominica this month to conduct operations. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this. First up, public sector agencies and civil society are expected to be better able to administer a global fund grant to effectively care for HIV/AIDS and tuberculosis patients. This coming out of a two-day capacity training for the Dominica Country Coordinating Mechanism and the civil society organizations involved in national AIDS response. The OECS Regional Coordinating Mechanism is mandated by the Global Fund for HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria to facilitate the sourcing of funds for HIV and TB in the OECS. Director of the OECS Regional Coordinating Mechanism, St. Lucian Joan Didier, says the training will boost oversight of the OECS grant on HIV and TB elimination.
The Global Fund grant that we were approved for in 2016 was for a total of $5.02 million US. That grant focuses on the elimination of HIV and TB in the OECS, and it also focusing on ensuring that civil society organizations, particularly organizations that work with the key populations of men who have sex with men, sex workers, and transgendered persons, are able to access treatment and care and other services for HIV, STI, and TB.
The training is being done in all participating countries of the grant that are part of the OECS Regional Coordinating Mechanism. They are Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dominica, and St. Lucia.
The OECS Regional Coordinating Mechanism, at its last meeting, which was held in November, recognized that we needed to do some capacity building of the country coordinating mechanisms in the 6th country. They are supposed to be involved in oversight of the grant. Is the grant being used for what it is supposed to be used for? Are the civil society organizations that are supposed to be getting the capacity building, are they getting that?
Dominica's representatives on the OECS Regional Coordinating Mechanism are the National HIV/AIDS Response Coordinator and a representative of the National Youth Council. In agriculture, major players in that industry have recognized the need to phase out the traditional method of packaging produce if farmers are to meet quality standards. A long-standing issue of poor packaging of produce came up at a handing over ceremony of 850 field crates to farmer groups and rural women producers on Friday. The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture made the presentation under the European Development Fund's Agriculture Policy Program.
These field crates represent one tangible measure on how we can improve our practices and productivity and take to market products that are comparable in quality in any part of the world. We expect that our farmers who are fortunate to receive these crates from the APP project will make full use of the benefits to be derived and experience a reduction in waste and loss arising from problems in handling and transfer of their fresh produce from the farm to the pack, through the pack house to the market. We are heartened in some of these activities. ECA and its partners work closely with, as well as working with our local experts, DEXIA, Bureau of Standards, Division of Agriculture, to bring one clear message that access to the market requires success in improving fresh produce handling, in meeting food safety and quality standards, among others.
Despite increased production on farms, studies by the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute have found that post-harvest handling has still not improved.
The market is demanding produce that is safe and of high quality. And that demand should drive the rapid adoption of alternative methods of handling and storage during and post-harvest that protects the commodity, reduce losses, and improve product presentation and acceptability. Our age-old practice of using bags in handling and storing produce is something that we need to phase out. And the sooner we do that, is the better, if we are serious about improving product quality.
Etienne says projects undertaken through the Agriculture Policy Program have sought not only to build capacity to boost production, but also to reduce post-harvest losses.
We are well aware that depending on the location of production of the fresh produce, transportation may be necessary at several points of the supply chain, such as from the field, where the produce is harvested, to the farm shed, from the farm shed to the pack house, from the pack house to the market. And each time the produce is transported from one point to another, it is handled, subjected to vibration, placed under pressure, and subjected to a variety of conditions that may negatively impact on its quality and therefore its marketability.
Onto healthcare now. Dominican patients to receive eye surgery under the Mission Milagro project are being assured that the mission will be in Dominica this month to conduct these operations. Andrea Louis has that story.
The Miracle Eye Care Mission, Misión Milagro, is a project created by former Cuban President Fidel Castro and developed by the former Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez. Dominica signed on to this cooperation agreement in January 2016. In December last year, a team of doctors from Misión Milagro visited the country and saw patients from the 7 health districts, with special focus being placed on those with cataracts and pterygiums. Following the mission's visit to Dominica, it was announced that the mission would return to the island between February and March 2017 to conduct just over 1,000 surgical procedures at the Princess Margaret Hospital. During an interview with Channel 5 News, Venezuela's ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Hayden Pirela, reaffirmed that a team from Misión Milagro will be on island later this month.
Yeah, they have to be here after Carnival. But we have to do something, check something. We are talking with the Ministerio of Health Dominica. After, when we finish all that thing, they come, our doctor come.
On the question of the Venezuelan-funded coffee processing plant in 1 Mile, Portsmouth, the ambassador says a team from Venezuela will be here this month to assess the plant and its status.
The coffee plant has inside all the machine for the process of the coffee, but the don't let, he's waiting for a transformer. Give electricity to the coffee plant, because that big machine that we have inside need a high electricity. We are waiting on Venezuela technician about that machine, they are specialists. I believe that they can come here in 2 weeks. When they come, they check the machine. I believe that this year we can open the coffee plants.
The ambassador also reaffirmed Venezuela's commitment to Dominica's development despite the social and economic climate there. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
A total of 17 primary schools expected to reap the benefits of the Child Assault Prevention Program by March month end. Andrea Louis has more.
The Child Assault Prevention Program was initiated by Child Fund Caribbean at 1 primary school in 2015 and has grown to 14 primary schools at present. This primary intervention program encourages children to defend themselves against all types of assault. The East Dominica Children's Federation, which now oversees this program, aims to have a total of 17 primary schools involved in the CAP program.
CAP is a free program. We do teachers workshop first, then we do parents workshop, and then we do the classroom workshop. The parents and teachers workshop is the information that we're going to give the children. We explain to their parents and their teachers exactly what it is, so they get to participate. We teach them certain things so they know exactly what their children are going to do. And the response thus far is very, very good. After the workshops, the parents keep asking questions as to if we can take it to the secondary school, if we can take it to the preschool, but this is a whole nother kettle of fish.
This particular CAP program focuses on primary schools. There is a Teen CAP program which targets secondary school students. However, people will have to be trained by the International Center for Assault Prevention, ICAP, to carry out that program. Moses says in the absence of Teen CAP, the East Dominica Children's Federation will be hosting a youth symposium on the proper use of social media.
We've realized part of what makes up the Teen CAP is cyberbullying. And we've noticed and we've learned that there's a lot of cyberbullying going around where children use social media to bully each other by the things that they say, the pictures that they share. And not just bullying, but sometimes young people use social media innocently. They take pictures and they post them, and the consequences of those pictures have telling examples on their lives. So we want to educate them as to how to use social media in a proper way that's going to be educational, that's going to make you feel proud that you did something or you post something, and not make you feel shame or people can use it to destroy your character. And we hope that this symposium will be on the 22nd of March.
Funding for the expansion of the CAP program came from the Canada Fund for Local Initiative.
Court news now. Acting Deputy Chief of Police Davidson Valerie appeared before High Court Judge Victoria Charles Clark on Friday and issued a public apology for the failure of police officers to show up at court on Thursday. Justice Charles Clark had summoned the police chief or his deputy to give reasons for the absence of the police, which resulted in the court having to be adjourned. Valerie had tentatively met in chambers with the judge on Thursday. Valerie said, quote, "We regret what happened due to some miscommunication between the police and the court. It's not a regular thing, and we regret what happened and deeply apologize to Her Ladyship and the court," end quote. Justice Charles Clark commended Acting Deputy Chief Valerie for responding to her concerns and for immediately coming to court. The judge said, quote, "We need to have better collaboration between the court and the police," end quote. It is protocol to have police officers at court to provide security and other duties. Her Ladyship said on Thursday that she found it disrespectful that not one officer was present and no superior officer was there to apologize. She had also threatened to cite the police chief and others for contempt. Coming up, the 64th meeting of the OECS Authority and what member states are discussing there. That and more coming up. Thanks for staying with us. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit and other sub-regional leaders discussed a number of matters affecting the development of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States when they met in St. Kitts on Friday. On the occasion of the 64th meeting of the OECS Authority, member states looked at climate change, security, agriculture, health insurance, among other topics. Foreign affairs-related discussions also took place, including the potential inclusion of French St. Martin as an associate member of the 35-year-old organization. Leaders of all member states were in attendance for the meeting, chaired by Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Timothy Harris. In other news, there is a call for greater involvement in the music management and agent booking aspects of the music industry to help grow the economy. The suggestions comes from President of the Association of Music Professionals, McCarthy Marie, in light of government's most recent pronouncement of a $1 million loan facility at the Aid Bank to help further develop the country's music industry. This newest loan facility, at a rate of 2% with a one-year grace period, targets those in the music business.
When we say music business, I am not only thinking of people who play music or who have a recording studio, but we lack a lot of the rest of the music professionals like managers, booking agencies, etc., etc. So I would hope personally that persons of that caliber would go and borrow the money and set up businesses to help to get the whole thing rolling so that we can market our music abroad more effectively.
The AMP president says things look promising for the industry's progression in the fields of management and booking agents, despite the public's skepticism.
If you have two managers or two management firms or companies who manage, they might not only manage one artist, they might manage 3 or 4 artists, and they have a firm, yeah, it's a viable thing. And the reason we sometimes can't get to play in certain places because we know nobody in Germany has a festival that would feature Dominica's music. But these people who are booking agents, that's their job. It's to make connections with other booking agencies and or promoters to say we have artists who fit your bill. So it's possible. But it just simply that means that the people have to spend a little time to know how the thing works and to invest some money in it. And the money to invest in it is now available at the Aid Bank.
Marie sincerely believes a well-developed music industry can help in the country's economic advancement.
As Tony Blair, ex-Prime Minister of the UK, famously said, rock and roll is more important to the British economy than coal and steel. Yes, and the music business in Dominica can be similarly more important to Dominica's economy than bananas ever were.
Ministry of Tourism and Urban Renewal and Discover Dominica Authority pointing to an increased carnival budget by government as having played a key role in the success of this year's events. A release made public on Friday describes Mass Dominic 2017 as a success. The Minister for Tourism and Urban Renewal, Senator Robert Tongue, applauds organizers, revelers, and the general public for a creative, safe, and enjoyable carnival season. The ministry also expressed gratitude to Flow for its partnership in sponsoring Carnival for another year. A number of major sponsors were also recognized, among them Tropical Shipping, the local media including Marpin 2K4, the National Bank of Dominica, Dowasco, Domlec, Liat, Winair, and others. The sponsors of the National Queen Pageant contestants and the police have also been praised. Discover Dominica Authority, Dominica Festivals Commission, Road Parade and Queen Show committees, Calypso Association, and Roseau City Council have all been commended for their efforts. The Ministry of Trade is expected to announce its efforts at delivering improved consumer protection on Monday. Consumer protection safeguards the right of consumers in the marketplace. A lot of it is done through policy and legislation as well as organizations. According to the ministry, plans for a week of activities on consumer protection is expected to be announced. During that week, consumers will be advised on their rights and responsibilities. Also, the ministry is expected to provide a consumer protection framework funded by European Development Fund, Caribbean Development Bank, and the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica. That's news. Sports next. First up in sports, England won the first one-day international against West Indies by 45 runs on Friday. England took first knock and reached 296 for 6. E. Morgan scored 107 while Ben Stokes and Sam Billings supported with 55 and 52 respectively. Set 297 for victory, West Indies was bowled out for 251 in 47.2 overs. Jason Mohammed was the top run scorer for the home team with 72 while Jonathan Carter supported with 52. Meanwhile, the Dominica Cricket Association will open its cricket season with a bang on Sunday. The event will begin with an opening ceremony where the Minister for Sports, President of the Association, and sponsors are expected to give opening remarks followed by a ballarama. Sunday's event will also be an opportunity for the newly elected members to meet with the cricket clubs and teams who voted them in. Awards will be given to the top wicket taker, top run scorer, best catch on the field, and the spectator with the best outside boundary catch. Approximately 14 teams have confirmed their attendance at the cricket season opening. Sunday's event is carded for Botanic Gardens at 9:30 a.m. In football, ACS 7-11 Portersville Tarish United edged out Malta Caribou Bath Estate FC 2-1 at the Pori playing field in the only match played in the Dominica Football Association's Division 1 League on Thursday. Nilon Hector and Delroy Parker scored for Tarish, while Benjamin Alexander converted for Bath Estate. Meantime, the league continues on Saturday with Police Sports Club locked in battle with Malta Caribou Bath Estate Football Club at 4 p.m. at the Pori playing field. At Newtown, Mahosoka Strikers will come up against RC Doctors at 5 p.m. And on Sunday, All Saints will take on Club Lubier at Pori from 4 in the afternoon. Meantime, an almost 9-month search for a national football coach is finally over as the local governing body on the sport formally introduced Rajesh Joseph Lachu to the football family and media on Thursday. The new coach says he hopes to lift the standard of the local football product and help make it more competitive.
The first thing is I glad to invite all the players. The selection will always be open, and as I see them, and as this is the material, that have certain material we're looking for, if they fit the material, they continue. If they don't fit the material, whether it be old players, bad habits, whatever it is, clean slate, and we start with that. In terms of the goals for the next 18 months, the first one is dealing with the Windward Island tournament. Because of the amount of time, a couple of things we notice is the fitness needs to improve, the defensive organization and the attacking organization as a team needs to improve, but that will take 6 months, and by the end of the year, we hope to ideally we only have 3 players outside right now. We must have 10 to 15 players by the end of this year. By the end of next year, we must have at least 30 players outside. And outside meaning playing at a higher league than what is normally in Dominica.
Meantime, President of Dominica Football Association says he is hoping that Lachu's addition to the DFA family will be long-term since he was chosen from a list of potential coaches.
It will be between a year to 18 months in the first instance. But we will look at reviewing his contract for maybe extension. I believe based on his word and based on what we see, we will. But it's somebody we want to keep because we believe that for us to develop football in Dominica, we need somebody with this potential, somebody with this ability to guide us through. And like I mentioned earlier before, it's not just about the senior national team, but it's about the youth program also. Because we want to have that continuity. We want to make sure that when we leave the under 15, the under 17, the under 20, we are into our senior programs. And we have declined, we have to accept that we have declined along that way. But we saw the vision, and we are just putting everything together now. We didn't just pull out the card from the bag and just go with Mr. Lachu. We had other persons that was interested, from all over the world, no matter, all from Zimbabwe. People came into the last 2, and we decided to work with Mr. Lachu.
The revised coaching staff reads Rajesh Joseph Lachu, head coach, Ellington Sabin, assistant coach, Smith Telemac, physical trainer, Courtney Challenger, goalkeeper coach, Albert Noel, medics person, and Michael Joseph, manager. Back with weekend games, we can tell you that training for the Dominican team headed to the Jean Pierre netball competition continues on Saturday with a match at the Dominica Grammar School Hard Court. Recently, the squad was cut down to 16 members. However, the final 12 is expected to be chosen after the match. Saturday's game is carded for 10 in the morning. The 2017 Jean Pierre competition is carded for Trinidad and is scheduled to run from March 31 to April 7. Next up, St. Mary's Academy defeated Dominica Grammar School 52-50 on home court in the Sports Division Secondary Schools Under-20 Basketball Championships on Thursday. For SMA, Kinaya Lloyd scored 17 points and 21 rebounds, while Jacob Barry 12 with 2 steals and 3 assists, and Jonathan Henderson 8 points, 4 rebounds and 4 steals. For DGS, Josh Joseph 20 points, 4 rebounds, 6 steals and 5 assists, while Zornell Christopher assisted with 10 points and 7 rebounds, and Jean-Luc Victor 6 points, 10 rebounds and 4 steals. The games continue on Monday with Pierre Charles Secondary and Dominica State College going head-to-head at PCSS Hard Court. That game is carded for 3 in the afternoon. Finally, the island-wide White Oak Rum Domino competition enters its quarterfinal stage this weekend with 4 matches.
The quarterfinals of one of the toughest domino competition will be played on Sunday at Tamarind Tree in Newtown at 11 a.m. in the White Oak Rum Domino competition. That's when Rockers from Pebush will start some Anzimi, Wake Up start some Possum will play 1 case from Dodan, Tremor from Grand with Dolphin from Scottsdale, and Monzan from Mao with the Dangerous Public Enemies. They've been reporting for Mapping Sports.
That's all the sporting highlights for now. Join us next time. We now join our friends at the Met Office for the weather report.
Good evening, I am your presenter, Viola Pascal. We begin by taking a look at our earlier infrared satellite imagery. A high-pressure system continues to dominate across the area, and this resulted in some shallow low-level clouds moving across the island chain during today. Our visible satellite imagery indicated partly cloudy conditions across Dominica during today. The radar imagery indicated that scattered showers affected mainly the central portions of the island chain. The forecast for tonight: expect partly cloudy to cloudy and breezy conditions with some scattered showers. Similar conditions can be expected into tomorrow with winds up to 40 kilometers from the east. Sea conditions are expected to be moderate with waves up to 8 feet. A small craft advisory is in effect for above normal seas and brisk winds. The high-pressure system is expected to linger across the area over the next 3 days, and this is expected to generate partly cloudy to cloudy conditions with some scattered showers. Across the Caribbean, expect partly cloudy to cloudy conditions with showers mainly over the southern portions of the island chain. The international cities forecast: partly cloudy conditions in New York and Miami, overcast conditions in London, cloudy conditions with showers in Caracas, and clear skies in Beijing. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6:20 a.m. and set at 6:14 p.m. For further information, call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit the website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing. Do have a good evening.
To end the news, the headlines again. Important training to boost oversight of the OECS grant on HIV and TB elimination. Major players in agriculture phasing out poor packaging to boost post-harvest handling, and the Venezuelan Miracle Eye Care mission expected in Dominica this month to conduct operations. Feel free to contact us at news@marpling2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Kenny Williams. To our viewers around the world, we thank you for watching. Join us next time.